Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare, Act 3, Scene 1. So let's start by having a very short summary. In Venice, Sonali and Celaria have learned that the Italian ship wrecked in the English Channel was Antonius. Shylock enters angry at Jessica's flight. He declares his intention of taking a pound of Antonius' flesh if Antonio is unable to repay the loan. Tubal enters to tell Shylock news of Jessica's extravagancy and Antonia's losses. Shylock sends Tubal to begin the process of Antonia's arrest. Now, let's start by a short dialogue between Sulania and Solaria. Now, what news on the Rialto? The Rialto is the place where people used to go to deal with money, to borrow money from moneylenders. Solaria said, why yet it lives there unchecked that Antonio has a ship of rich lading wracked on the narrow seas, the good winds. I think they call the place a very dangerous flat, and a fatal where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried, as they say, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word. Then Solania replied, I would she were as lying as a gossip in that as ever napped Ginger, or made her neighbours believe she wept for the death of a third husband. But it is true, without any slips of prolixity or crossing the plain highway of talk, that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh that I had a title good enough to keep his name company. So they were talking about the bad news they heard, they wished that it won't be true about Antonio's ships. One of them found damaged, and they wished not it won't be Antonio's at all. Celery said, come the full stop. Come the full stop means let's draw a veil on this topic. Let's stop talking about this topic. Solani said, huh? What? Says thou? Why the end is, he hath lost a ship. Why don't you want to talk about it? Celery said, I would it might prove the end of his losses. So they wanted to stop talking about that because they don't want to spread rumors, and they wish not um, they wish that this not be the truth about Antonius' ship. Let me say amen betimes, lest the devil cross my prayer, for here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. So they stopped talking once Shylock entered. But let me talk about what was the gossip here. We can say that this was he gave an example here in Elizabethan drama. All people are said to eat ginger to help digestion, so they believed in eating ginger so that this will help in digestion. Then here he talked about what happened to Antonio, and both of them wished that this wouldn't be true at all. Then Shylock entered. He started to tell him, how now, Shylock? What's news among the merchants? Shylock said, you knew none so well as you, of my daughter's flight. You knew everything. No one knew anything but you. Serayu said, that's certain, that's very sure. I for my part knew the tailor that made the wings she flew without. So Selania said, and Shylock for his own part knew the bird was fledged, and then it is the complexion of them, all to leave the dam. Shylock said, she's damned for it. So Selaria said, that's certain if the devil may be her judge. So he was trying here to say that Shylock is the devil. That's why she escaped and she didn't want to be with her father. Shylock said, "My own flesh and blood to rebel." Selania said, "Out upon it, old Carian rebels it at these years." Shylock said, "I say my daughter is my flesh and my blood." So Celaria here is trying to say there is more difference between the flesh and hers. It means that there's no um, any. We will not compare you with her because there is a big difference between you and her. Than between jet and ivory, more between your bloods than there is between red wine and Rhenish. So here they they compared them with the two types of wine, red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio have had any loss at sea or no? They asked about the bad news they heard about Antonio's ship. Shylock said, "There I have another bad match, a bankrupt, a prodigal, who dare scarce show his head on the reality." He's talking here about Antonio when he came to him in the reality and he borrowed the money for his friend Bassanio. A beggar, he called him a beggar that was used to come so smug upon the mart. Let him look to his bond, ask him to see the contract between him and me. He was wont to call me usurer. Let him look to his bond, let him be careful about the debt that he has to pay on time. He was wont to lend money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond. Hilary said, "Why, I am sure if he forfeit, thou wilt not take his flesh. What's good that good for?" It means that what will you do with the flesh? Shylock said, "To bait fish withal, if it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. I want to take revenge. He hath disgraced me, he had humiliated me, and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, uh, uh, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies, and what's his reason? I'm a Jew. Have not a Jew eyes?" Here he said, "Is that because he humiliated me because I'm a Jew? Does the Jew or um, or doesn't the Jew have eyes? Doesn't the Jew have hands? He's like you. He's a normal human." So he started to say, "Had not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you in the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Why revenge? The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better this destruction. Enter a man from Antonio, serving man, gentleman. My master Antonio is at his house, and desires to speak with you both. Hilarious said, "We have been up and down to seek him." Enter Tubal, Sulani, here comes another of the tribe. Here comes another Jew. A third cannot be matched unless the devil himself turn Jew. Sulani, and the serving man left. Shylock started to talk to Tubal. "How now, Tubal? What news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?" He's asking about his daughter. "Did you find my daughter?" "I often came where I did hear of her, but cannot find her." It means that whenever I go to a place that I knew that she was there, I couldn't find her. Shylock said, "Why, there, a diamond gone cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. The curse never fell upon our nation till now. I never felt I never felt it till now. 2,000 ducats in that, and other precious jewels. I would, I would my daughter were dead." He wished here, I would means I wished my daughter were dead at my foot, and the jewels in her ear. Would she were pierced at my foot, and the ducats in her coffin. So he wished her daughter to be dead. No news of them. Why so? And I know not what spent in the search. He kept paying money because the search cost money. Why thou lost? Why thou loss upon loss? The thief gone with so much. The thief here, this refers to Jessica. The thief gone with so much, and so much to find the thief. I'm paying a lot of money to find Jessica, and no satisfaction, no revenge, nor ill luck stirring, but what light my shoulders, my no sighs, but my breathing, no tears, but my shedding. So Tubal started to say, "Yes, other men have ill luck, true, Antonio, as I heard in Genoa." So he started to cheer. What? Ill luck, ill luck. Then Tubal said, "Have an argosy cast away coming from Tripoli." He said that there were like rumors saying bad news about Antonio, that Antonio lost a ship that where the ship that was coming from Tripolis. Shylock said, "I thank God, I thank God. Is it true? Is it true?" Tubal, I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the wreck. Shylock, I think thee, good Tubal, good news, good news. Ha, ha, heard in Genoa. Then Tubal said, "Your daughter spent in Genoa, as I heard, one night 4 score ducats." Then this news for sure would let him be very sad, because he knew that his daughter spent a lot of ducats, 80 ducats, just for sitting, just for staying. He said, "Thou stickst a dagger in me." These words, when I heard these words, it's like you put a dagger in my chest. I shall never see my gold again. 4 score ducats, that's a sitting. 4 score ducats. Tubal said, "There came divers of Antonius' creditors in my company to Venice, that swear he cannot choose but break." So another good news for Shylock about Antonio, which is Antonius' creditors came to Tubal to assure him of Antonius' bankrupt. Shylock, I am very glad of it. I'll plague it. I'll torture. I am glad of it. Tubal, one of them showed me a ring that he had of your daughter for a monkey. This news would definitely let him feel very sad because he said that your daughter sold your ring just to have or just to buy a monkey. Then Shylock said, "Out upon her! Thou torturest me, Tubal. It was my turquoise. I had it of Lee when I was a bachelor. I would not have given it for a wilderness of monkeys. How did she do that?" But Tubal said, "But Antonio is certainly undone." So this news would let him um, be happy again. And he told him Antonio became a bankrupt. "Nay, that's true, that's true, that's very true. Go to well, fee me, an officer bespeak him a fortnight before. I will have the heart of him if he forfeit, for were he out of Venice, I can make what merchandise I will. Go to well and meet me at our uh, synagogue. Go good to well at our synagogue to well." So here he wanted to say that he insisted to take revenge from Antonio, um, and that would be by enforcing the legal contract that they have signed. In synagogue is the Jewish place of worship. And here he said that if he was unable to pay, he is going to take revenge from him. Thank you for listening to this and watching this video. I hope that you understood. And let's meet in the upcoming video to keep explaining the rest of the act. Thank you so much.